Hey guys, so welcome to another episode of Everything Business. Right? Thank you for viewing, thank you for stopping by. In our last episode, I was talking about the SBA, and we're going to continue with the SBA today. Right? Now, the last class, or the last, I almost said the last class, the last episode, I was looking at the objective, right? The objectives and the topic is your problem. So I was looking at this pretty much the last episode, right? So I'll put a link for that in the description, right? So you can check that out. All right. So for this episode now, what I'll be looking at is the background or the overview of the problem. This is a very important section of the SBA, right? And you want to ensure that you get full marks. It values 4 marks, so it's very important, right? Now in this section, all you're simply going to do is to basically describe the situation, right? Give a background. And so you're going to include the description of the problem. You're going to describe the history, right? Include the development of the problem. You're going to establish the need for research, right? So you're going to talk about why is the problem to you and why is it important and how does it impact society, right? So this is basically what the mark scheme says. All right, so when you look here now, right? Right, so just for recap purposes, this was my topic. What are the causes of unemployment among residents of Jackson Lane, Jamaica? Obviously, Jackson Lane is a fictitious place. Um, and yeah, so just bear that in mind. And these are my objectives, right? I could have had other objectives in relation to unemployment, but these are what I'll be using. All right. The next heading is the background of the study, right? And as I said before, each heading would come on a separate page. But for demonstration purposes, I am going to just use this right here, right? All right, so the first thing you want to do is to include a history of the area of study. I know that you're going to study somewhere or you're going to study a business, right? So you're going to give a brief history. So, right. So this is what I've come up with so far, right? It says Jackson Lane is located in West Kingston, Jamaica. According to Statin, which is the Statistical Institute of Jamaica, right? Maybe your country has a statistical institute, right? Or maybe you have information that you can find in textbooks or in other resource materials, right? So I use Statin to determine the approximate population of the area. And this is just my way of giving some history on the area, about the area, right? So I said, according to Statin, it has an approximate population of 1,500, right? The area can be considered as a rural area, as most of the residents depend on farming in order to make a living. And this is what 3 sentences, right? Could be your brief history of the area, right? Or the business that you are studying. Maybe you have more, fine, right? The background of the study, you should have maybe about 2 paragraphs. That should be able to do it, right? And then you're going to describe the problem now. All right. All right. So this is what I have come up with as it relates to the description of the problem, right? And the development of the problem. So really describing the problem is you're just stating what the problem is, right? So I say that the researcher would like to find out the cause or causes of unemployment among residents of Jackson Lane. Then went on to say, being a resident of Jackson Lane, the researcher has observed that there are many unattached youth sitting around the community unemployed, right? Now we're going to go to the need for research. So we can say this situation, which you're talking about unemployment, right, has led to several issues in the community, such as theft, gang formation, violence, teenage pregnancies, and ultimately unsupervised children, right? And now we can go on to say, why is the problem or the topic important to you, right? All right, so we are looking at why is the problem or the topic important to you? So this is what I've come up with. It says the situation of unemployment is of grave concern to the researcher, right? So you're making it known that it is concerning to, right? And then you're going to tell why now, why? So you're going to say, as a young resident who will soon complete secondary education, researcher would like to know what the cause or causes of unemployment are for the residents in my community. Is it because of the area? So these are some rhetorical questions. And we know from English class that rhetorical questions are a useful tool when you're trying to make an argument, right? Is it because of the area? Is it because of a lack of qualified persons? Is it poor parenting? And these are all questions to which a researcher would like to find answers, right? Thus, making this research of extreme importance to the researcher. So you have clearly stated how this is important to you or why it is important to you because you're a resident in the area, right? And you want to know answers to these things, all right? And then now we are going to move on to how does this problem impact the society? And this can basically ties in with the fact that with the gang formation. So basically what you're going to do, you're going to talk about this, right? You're going to talk about the fact that there is gang formation and the ill effects of unemployment, right? So let's see what we can come up with. All right, so how does this problem impact the society? So this is what I come up with. And I'm trying to write like a high school student, right? I'm really trying not to write too, high flown. So it says the level of unemployment in Jackson Lane has led to many social issues, as was stated before, right? Such as gang wars, unwanted or unsupervised children, teenage pregnancies, etc. These social issues will not remain in Jackson Lane, but will soon make their way into the wider society as these same young people will leave the community and go elsewhere to either start families or work, taking with them some of the very issues that exist in this community. Therefore, by finding the cause or causes, the researcher hopes to be able to formulate or recommend solutions to better improve the community. I could write right here, finding the causes or causes of unemployment among residents. Right? Yeah, that's all a little better. All right. So basically that, right? And all we need to do now, right? We are going to take out these headings and formulate our paragraphs. Right? Take out these headings. Oh, right? Take out these, all of these, we take them out. This can be a new paragraph, right? Can't do that right now. All right, so take these out. Right? And all of this, you could align this one side. This thing. All right, so yeah, so basically that is your background to the study. This even look too much, but yeah, it's fairly good. Yeah, it's not too much, but it's fairly good. Remember, it should have double line spacing, font size 12. So you double line spacing. When you're typing, you don't need to indent, right? Unless you're using like APA style, right? Trying to find the double line thing here. Oh, there it is. All right, good. All right, so right off the bat, you realize that the background to the study is yeah, it's fairly decent, right? And that is how you do the background to the study, right? Stick around for my next video where I will move on to the next part. Let me show you what it is going to be. The next section, which is the methodology, very important because it values 10 marks. So you don't want to miss that, all right? So take care. Wow, good.